over the years, I've done a bunch of backpacking, and I've lately been very into mountain biking. I was into road cycling before. I've done a bunch of these things, and kind of what I think combines all three of them together is bikepacking. And most specifically, what I wanted to try to build some sort of setup for was single track focused bikepacking. So I've kind of collected some gear with the idea that I wanted to have it be an easy to install system that I can stick on like my full suspension mountain bike. Yes, I know it's not the ideal bike packing bike because it's very, very inefficient. And my actual enduro bike weighs 37 pounds. So it's, setting myself up for Sufferfest. But I did want to focus on, like, if I want to do this, I don't necessarily need to be plotting huge amount of mileage. I don't need to be super efficient. I want to be outside. I want to go to some cool spots, and I would like to ideally do mostly single track. So I want a single track capable bike, and I can't just buy another bike. I can't afford to just buy another bike specifically for it. So long story short, I want this to fit on a full suspension mountain bike, an enduro mountain bike, and I want it to be easy to install, easy to take off, and I want it to be fairly cheap because I don't know how much I'm actually going to be able to do this, but I want to be able to quickly throw this on my bike and go if I'm able to take like one night or a multi-night trip. So let's get into what is bike packing specifically. It's packing everything on your bike, going distances and camping. And the ideal usually is to go on a very scenic route where you can get outside and a little bit off the beaten path, and via your own two legs power, see the countryside or wherever it is, see the vistas, see the landscape, and get out and enjoy everything. And it is a very different way, different roads, different trails, and different speed than car traveling. So it's we're somewhere in the middle of like car camping or backpacking. What you need to think about is carrying your food, carrying your camping supplies like your tent, your sleeping bag, and your sleeping pad typically. And then obviously your changes of clothes, things of that nature, and water. So I wanted to put as much as I could on the bike without actually putting like bike racks or panniers or anything too crazy on the bicycle that I can't put on and take off within maybe 5 minutes. And I did not want this to be expensive, so I'm looking at smaller packs, basically less expensive packs, but also things that aren't crazy and robust necessarily. But I did find some cool brands, I think, and I'll put links to everything below, but I'll kind of walk you through now from the front end of the bicycle to the back end of the bicycle. But real quick before I dive into it, I want to hear some comments about your bikepacking setup if you have one, or if you do not have a setup and you have not bikepacked. Just scroll down to the bottom and roast my setup and tell me everything I did wrong. Of course, you can give me some praise as well if you like my setup. And like I said, I'll have links down below. But we'll dive into it now. We're going to go from the front of the bike to the back. And I had 3 bags that I put on. We've got some video footage going around the bike, and then I'm also going to hold them up to you here and walk you through the bags themselves. So starting out in the front, I've got this cool little handlebar bag from a company called ALMSTHERE. They're based in San Diego. And it's pretty simple, just with these straps up front, it hooks onto your handlebars. It does have a kind of rigid plastic frame that holds it in this cylindrical shape. And then it does have taped seams, so you're going to have some water resistance there. And we have essentially 3 major pockets to go through. There's one pocket in the center with a little bit of organization within there. And that's where you're going to put kind of your main stuff. Again, the cool thing about this is everything is super accessible while you're riding, so you don't have to stop and get out snacks or things that you're going to need to access all the time. You do have some kind of daisy chain loops that you can hang stuff on as well. But then this is a cool little pocket on the side where everything can be kept pretty tight and secure. I'd put probably my keys in there because you don't want them jingling around too much. And then a little mesh side pocket. Again, this would be where I would stow maybe snacks or something that you're going to grab really easily without unzipping anything. More straps on the bottom. This is kind of configurable to have the straps here, 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 or here, here, here. And then we have a tensioning strap. We have a tensioning strap down here so you can actually hook this onto the stem of the bicycle to keep it from bouncing. So hooks here, this goes under, holds it to the stem, keeps it from bouncing. Another thing with this is it comes with straps. So if you do want to strap something onto the pack itself, you could add onto that. And that's something I was thinking about with kind of limited storage in bags or on back, on my back. I was thinking get a small compact handlebar bag, and then anything long or cylindrical, like if you roll up a sleeping pad, you can maybe strap that on the front here as well, just as an idea. Okay, moving on to the center of the bicycle. Bicycle always sounds funny to me. But moving on from front to back here, the next thing I have is ALMSTHERE frame pack. And the flip to this is I've been mounting it like this. And essentially sticking this end up against the seat post. And the cool thing about doing that is this actually fits on a modern geometry mountain bike, a Transition Spire full suspension within the frame, and I can still put water bottle in and out. I haven't seen any other sort of frame bag that fits in a full suspension mountain bike, like in the triangle. And again, it's not supposed to. It's not built specifically for that. It's meant to sit on the top tube and hook right here to basically where your stem is and sit there and be super accessible. But with mountain biking, it rattles all around, all that stuff. I wanted it hanging so it can swing, but it's not going to tip off. But yeah, more or less, the cool thing about this is that it fits within the triangle of a full suspension mountain bike along with your water bottle, which I didn't think could happen because those triangles are so small. But what have I been able to fit in this is actually a fairly good amount of stuff. It's kind of everything I need for trailside maintenance, which hopefully never is ever needed. But if it isn't needed, you don't want to be without it. Pump. It's kind of a weird shape too, right? A pump is kind of oblong and like it's not going to fit in most packs, but it fits right in here. Tire lever with a rim fixing tool. So if you have a bent rim, you could actually hopefully fix that on the side of the trail with this. Crank Brothers multi-tool, which actually has the ability to break a chain if you need to. Ultralight 29er tube. These things are cool. They are so small and so light, it is ridiculous. Like, it takes up so little space in here for being a tube. Stick that back in. And then a puncture kit. If you have a puncture and you're set up tubeless, you definitely want to have one of these. This one's from Pro Bike Tool. Everything's contained in here. The bacon strips, the whatever you call the thing that you use to apply them, all housed right in there. And like I said, this all fits right in here. The cool thing is if you do have two different bikes that you ride, you can have your whole setup in this bag, and it super, like within 30 seconds I can take it off one bike and put it on the other. and you have everything in there. So just don't forget your pack, and you're covered. You know, you're not having to stick stuff in your pockets and stuff like that, which is just annoying. Yeah. I can even stick my wallet in here if I want and not worry about losing that, or keys. And there's still room for that even with all that stuff. So really cool little bag. And guys, check out Almost There. Again, they are a cool little brand in San Diego. Worth the checkout and worth supporting for sure. The next thing is the big guy, the beast, from a brand called Rhino Walk. There will be a link down to that as well. This is waterproof, obviously only when this roll top is closed fully. So I would say water resistant. But this straps onto the seat post. This straps onto the seat bars or the seat itself, these two. So it's secured. And I could still use the dropper post a little bit if I needed to or if I wanted to with this setup. There's no hardware. I'm not putting a rack on, because if I was putting a bike rack on an enduro bike, I would be insane. But I am building a bike packing setup for an enduro bike, so maybe I am insane, but different kind of insane at least. Anyway, this pack, why I was interested in this one, other than that it goes on and off easily, is that it's big. It's a very big bag, and it roll top closes, you know, down to be a reasonable size if you're not using all of that. But I could stick a lot in here. Like, I can stick my tent in here. I could stick my sleeping pad in here. Sleeping bag, probably, actually, as well. Although sleeping bag is maybe something you want to stick in your backpack well, just because it's super light and just takes up space is all. But this also has the ability to stuff stuff in here. So even if you fill this bag up, you can strap stuff to the outside. If you have clothes you need to dry, even if you're just sticking the sleeping bag into the outside here, or you're sticking I don't know, a jacket that you're taking on and off often, you could stick stuff in here. You get the point, right? This does remind me of, like, when I was in about 8th grade, everyone wanted backpacks with this type of webbing on it, and I don't know what we were using that for. I think I stuck my shoes in them once, but also you can hook stuff onto here. Yeah, it's just I think a simple to install large pack that's expandable and has the ability to strap stuff on the outside of it, and that's why I was looking at that. But I'll show you the interior here a second, which is like a big black hole, yellow hole. I don't know if that's anything like inappropriate or anything, but it does have Velcro. Sorry, guys. It does have Velcro to now I'm distracted. It does have Velcro to get that closure really done correctly, and then it will be waterproof, water resistant, again, is what I'll say. But yeah, cool bag. Toss everything in, and the smaller my backpacking stuff is, which thankfully backpacking stuff is pretty small, the less I'm going to have to carry on backpack. And ideally it's just light stuff like sleeping bag, jacket, and clothes in the backpack, and then also, hydration pouch, so you can have water while you're riding. But hopefully this can take a lot. I think this is, I don't remember how many liters. I was about to say 55 liters. I kind of think it's 55 liters. If I'm wrong, I'll put that down there and correct it so I'm not misleading anyone. But there will be a link to that one as well. So, wrapping it all up, Guys, I want to hear your thoughts. If you are someone who has gone bike packing, you have a setup, let me know what your setup is and why you did that. If you have never bike packed, let me know why you haven't. But really, like, comment on my setup, anything you think I should change, anything you think, if you think it's great, then you can say that as well. But let me know what you think. I would say also, if you're anywhere in the Pacific Northwest or you're going to be mountain biking in the Pacific Northwest, hit me up. I have my email here on my account, so you can email me, comment here. If you want to ride together anywhere, just let me know. I'm happy to meet up with people, happy to organize group rides, things like that. Just let me know. And also, if they're like, let me know your dream bike packing trip. Like, if there's a place you could go to ride your mountain bike or gravel bike or road cycle anywhere and camp, where the heck would that be? Because there's places all over. But I'm gonna stop blabbering on and just cut this off now, guys. I don't want you to spend too much time watching my videos. I want you guys to get out there, and I want to see more people on the trails, and I would love to join you out there as well if I can. So catch you on the trails, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome day. Cheers.